So if you've also got some of these 2014 run Intermountain Cylindrical Government of Canada hoppers, and you ran them on your layout, you probably noticed, as much as I do, how squeaky they are and how bad of pullers they are. So first of all, I'll show you what the problem is with this run of Intermountain grain hoppers, and I'll show you a quick 2-minute fix of how to solve the problem. So the cars that I have problems with are from a specific run, and this is right from Intermountain's website. It's 45102, and it's this series of number, the 606 series of road numbers. And from what I could find online, that was run number 9 by Intermountain, and it was released sometime in 2014, I think summer of 2014. I have 5 of the 6 cars from the one release there, the 102 release, and every single one of them has the same problem. They're very squeaky and noisy when they run, and they pull really hard. So let's take a look at what the problem is on these cars. We'll flip one of these over, and the problem is specifically, actually you can see it, you can see what the problem is already. So if you look here, see this axle has some scraping on the middle of it there. And if you look, I don't know if we'll be able to see down it there, but the this axle, this wheel right here, is rubbing on that screw head from the coupler box, and it makes noise and it creates drag, so that's why they don't pull as good. To check the other side, same thing. This one's rubbing as well. You can see there's marks on the middle of the wheel axle there. So this is a really easy fix. First thing we're going to do is pop the truck off. Okay, so there's a couple things you could do here. For sure you could go and add a washer in here, and that would just increase the height of the truck. It would just bring it up a little bit, and then it wouldn't rub on the screw anymore. I know a couple people have fixed it that way. I went and looked through my junk collection, and I don't have any little tiny washers. So what I do have is a Dremel with a grinding wheel. So what I do is just grind the head of this coupler box screw down just a little bit. Doesn't take much, and should solve the problem for us. Okay, we're going to use the Dremel with a little grinding stone on it. Important thing about if you're going to use a Dremel, safety glasses and hearing protection. So make sure you get that on, especially the safety glasses. Dremels are very, very dangerous. You want to protect your eyes when you're using these. Okay, so we'll go ahead and I'll just grind this screw head down a little bit. Alright, that should do the trick. So you can see I've taken that rounded profile off the top of it, and we shouldn't have any more problems with it rubbing on the axle. So go ahead and do the same to the other side, and we'll call it good. One thing to note after we grind these coupler box screws down, before we put the truck back on, it's a good thing to check and just see, because I found, yeah, this one too, the vibration from grinding tends to loosen those off a little bit. So make sure our box is on there straight. We'll make sure it's nice and tight before we put that truck back on. One other little watch out for these when you're grinding these coupler box screws, don't grind for too long. Like I'm talking, 10 seconds, and then let it cool down a little bit. If you grind for too long, you'll melt this head right into the coupler box. So ask me how I know. Don't do that when you're doing it. Okay, both of those coupler box screws are ground down a little bit. Let's go ahead and put the trucks back on. Alright, let's go put this back on the layout and compare it to one that I haven't ground the screws on yet. Alright, this one closest to us right here is the one we just ground the coupler box screws down on. This guy here is one that it hasn't been done on yet. So let's got them side by side here on an exact same piece of straight track. I can already tell this guy's dragging a lot more, but just let's just see what happens here. So that tells you right there, we've got rid of the drag on that car for sure. And this one's still, these ones are really bad. I don't know what it was about this run, but they just do not slide at all. One more time just to make sure. Well, I think we fixed the problem. Okay guys, so I think we've solved the problem there with those cars. You'd have to look on Intermountain's website, but I think there was a lot of other paint schemes. Now I don't know if those were affected to the same problem of these red Government of Canada cars, because I only have the red Government of Canada cars. I never got any of the other ones. But if you have an Intermountain cylindrical hopper like this guy, this is the National Steel Car 4550 cubic foot, and it's squeaky and it pulls really hard, take a look underneath and see if the axles are rubbing on those coupler box screws. Lots of different ways to fix that problem, but you just go with what you have, and I have a Dremel, so that's the easiest way for me to fix them. If you had little washers, go ahead and throw those on there. I think that'd be a good way to fix it as well. Hopefully you found the video helpful. Thanks a lot for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time.